see, I'm back. I'm extremely tired, but that is alright. Every time I eat, it gives me more energy. Right now I'm restricting for about 5 minutes. So then I go in there and eat some more. I heard that it takes 20 minutes for your body to recognize that. Alright, why does it hurt so bad? I'm gonna go to this. Like such as the script superheroes, it makes me feel strong, very strong, but at the same time I got to notice that it's good. I'm getting into myself here. Let me get this music off. I'm getting into myself too much. Stay in the third party. Alright, the thing here is every religion, every philosophy, every meaning, every thought has a meaning behind that thought, and answer every one of those thoughts. There's somewhat of a truth behind it. Even if it's covered in dog shit, dogma, lies, there's a truth that they felt. Such as empath. Maybe they've been through, like, this is a scientific aspect of it I'm getting. Like, maybe they been through a lot, and they felt very, very, like, the imbalance in them. They felt that giving is the only way, because they feel bad because they know they went through shit, so they want to help others get through shit. Which in my spiritual aspects, you can talk about the indigo child, which is also, you can go into the scientific part of that, which is our DNA, and whatever our family felt, hid in, everything affects their DNA, it mends it, and then you were born into society to accept that. You were born into a society as, yes, my mother told me this, my father told me that, and that is right, and that is wrong, and that is wrong and right. Such as religious beliefs. My God is the only God, and as the only God I'm going to respond from. First of all, who is God? Well, I ain't even go into that, but, yeah. And be a conformist, but remember, question everything outside of your own circle. Got this. Question everything outside of your circle. Remember, you are infinite potential. Your circle, oxygen, all right there. You go into numerology. I heard Joe Rogan talk about the power of people that play video games. They've lost power in their life, so they play video games, and they can mend it to the way they want. And they get addicted to some sort of an addiction. Like, there doesn't have to be addiction towards drugs. There doesn't have to be addiction towards, like, OCD touching this. There doesn't have to be addiction. OCD, I don't believe that is addiction at all. That is teaching you, like, not to be confined by the normal rules. I used to go look at the, like, windows, and I'd do circles with my eyes, squares around with my eyes. And then I'd zone in again, and that was sacred geometry, I guess. I wasn't aware. I was being fed dogma, bullshit, and getting fed meds, and it was making me unconscious of what I was doing. Then it takes 60 to 90 days to break that habit. Once I broke that habit doing that, I would usually want to stop taking meds, or I would stop taking them and not tell anyone. Then I would get to where I got lazy, and I would be so stuck in my mind that I would even cheek the pill that my mother gave me, or the nurse gave me. I was so disrespectful. I felt the rebel inside of me. I would cheek it and throw it like right in the most obvious spot, and then to notice that I threw it down there and that they're not getting over me. But that was when I was standing in my roots. Now I yield like a tree in the meadow. I go back and forth. Therefore, no one needs to know what goes inside my brain. No one needs to know anything. I will let go of what I let go through kindness and through loving kindness. I will conceive my thoughts and everything, and I won't believe like it is this one way. I'll always listen to other ways because I like to expand my mind. Once you stop expanding, you sit there and you mold. You don't grow. You can do that in many aspects. From when you work out your muscles, you overwork them, they get bigger. You give them just enough, they get denser, they get stronger. That's called strength training. You go to hypertrophy. Yeah, and that's going to a great extent. You'll be sore the next few days, which is not thinking logically. A lot of people get stuck into change of power, the power of being able to mold your body the way that you want it. If you notice people like Bruce Lee, amazing guy. I got a message on Facebook. I don't care right now. Bruce Lee, I do care, but I'll do it after I get done. Bruce Lee, I'm 640. Bruce Lee was so more evolved because he did his own thinking, and his Wing Chun principles. It was get rid of the useless and use what is needed or something. I'll tell you about that later. Yes, and then he was very evolved. He did a lot of strength training. Like, he threw it up. He found balance. He threw his food up and ate it. He speed through power. He never really did anything. And if he was so above his time. If he wasn't here, he would be a very, very superhuman. A lot of these people that get stuck in the moving of their bodies in such a way, we get in control of them. Bigger means power, but then the smaller you are, like power lifters, you go into that. There's so many aspects.